Hey guys, Taylor here and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, welcome. If you've already been here, thanks for coming back. So it is almost summer, you guys, so it's time to start pushing out that summer content. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you guys 5 foundations that are perfect for summer. So if you are looking for something that is sweat proof, something that is long wearing, this is the video for you. If you are interested in seeing, then please keep on watching. Before we start the video, please make sure you are subscribed to the channel. Please turn your post notifications on so you get notified every time your girl uploads a video, and follow me on Instagram. And with that being said, let's jump right into the video. All right, you guys, so I'm going to start with one of the most underrated foundations ever. It is a little bit more pricey, but when I say it is worth it, you guys, it is so worth it. This is from YSL. This is the All Hours foundation. I have this in the shade DN5. This foundation is a need for the summertime. It is going to give you a full coverage, but it is such a very comfortable foundation. It is one that a little bit goes a long way. With this foundation, you will probably need like a pump depending on how you like your coverage, but for me, I go in with the tiniest bit of this foundation and it covers everything that I need it to cover. It is one that is more on the matte side, but it's not a drying foundation at all. I'd say if anything, this is more of like a soft matte foundation. It doesn't dry you out, it doesn't look cakey on the skin, and when I say all hours, it is going to wear hours on your skin without budging. This is one that I don't even need to set. I just set it just because I always set all of my foundations. It is sweat proof, just a need for the summertime. If you haven't tried this, as I said, it's a little bit more pricey, but it is worth it. The only downside with this foundation is that it has fragrance to it, so if you are more sensitive to fragrance, this is probably not going to be the one for you. I don't really like fragrance in my makeup, but this one did not irritate my skin at all. But I just have to put that out there. If you don't like fragrance, maybe skip this one, but other than that, it is a solid foundation. Just because of the fragrance, I'll give this a 9 out of 10. If it didn't have fragrance in it, I'd say 10 out of 10. It is one of the best long wearing full coverage foundation that isn't cakey on the skin. You guys know I do a lot of reviews on my channel, so if I have a review on a foundation that I'm talking about, I'll just pop the review in the cards up above. But this next foundation that I have is one that I've been obsessed with it since I first tried it, and this one is what I think is a filter in a bottle. This is from Makeup Forever. This is the HD Skin foundation. This is, I believe there is a hydrating formula to this. This is the more matte formula. This one to me, once again, isn't a drying matte. It is more of like a soft matte. This one is going to give you good coverage as well. The All Hours from YSL is full coverage, whereas this is full coverage, if that makes any sense at all. This is a beautiful foundation. When I tell you, when I wear this foundation, it literally looks like I have a filter on my skin. That is how blurring and smoothing this foundation is. If you are looking for a good one and done foundation, I do feel like this is a great one. It also plays well with others. If I want to make it a little bit more dewy, then I can mix a dewy foundation with it. It is just a gorgeous foundation to have. If you prefer a matte finish but you want something that isn't going to look too matte on the skin, this is the one. This is a gorgeous foundation. I've been obsessed with this. This one I have in the shade 4N68, and I feel like same with the YSL. This is a little bit darker than me, but in the summertime it's like my perfect shade. I don't mind my foundation being a little bit darker because once I apply concealer and everything else, it just gives me like the perfect finish. But this one is so slept on. It was hyped up when it just came out. Hype kind of died down, but I am still loving this foundation. This is honestly in my top 10 foundations. This is a need if you are looking for a good long wearing sweat proof, blurring, filtered, matte but not too matte kind of foundation. This right here, 10 out of 10. Doesn't have any fragrance, so as I said, I give the YSL a 9 out of 10 just because it has fragrance. This one, 10 out of 10 right across the board. So the next foundation that I have is for someone that wants a long wearing foundation, but you don't want it to be matte, but you also don't want it to be dewy. You want like a good in-between foundation, something that is still going to hold up during the summer, something that is going to give you a little bit of a radiant look, but not too glowy like you're wearing a glowy foundation. And this one is from Makeup by Mario. This is another one that I am like halfway through the bottle. This is a gorgeous foundation. I did do a full review on this one as well. This is going to give you like that in between finish, but it is one that I feel like is sweat proof. This is one that is great for all skin types. I have dry skin and I love a good matte foundation. When I use my matte foundations, I just pair them with more hydrating products, but this one I feel like is good for all skin types. So if you're scared of using a matte foundation because you have dry skin but you want that look, this is the one from Makeup by Mario. It is also one that is going to blur everything. Is going to give you that nice smooth your skin but better, but with coverage, but does not look like you're wearing makeup type of thing. It is a gorgeous foundation. This is one that you can dress up and dress down. If you want more of a your skin but better look, go in with less product. If you want a full coverage look, you can go in with more foundation. But even though you apply more foundation, it is still not going to look heavy or cakey on the skin. It just gives you that surreal skin finish. Like, it doesn't look like you're wearing foundation, but you're wearing foundation, but it looks like skin. It doesn't matter how much you go in with. It is one that is very hard to explain. You just have to try it. It is a 10 out of 10 for me when it comes on to foundations, and the shade range, absolutely amazing. Okay, you guys, so the next one that I have is another one that is underrated, another one that I don't hear enough talk about, but if you know, you know. This is from KVD. This is the Good Apple Foundation. This one is thick. It is more on the thicker side. And if you are familiar with KVD in any way, you are going to get a long wearing product. When I say extremely long wearing, extremely long wearing. It is a little bit thicker than the one from YSL. It is a little bit thicker than all the others that I mentioned, but it is also not cakey on your skin. For a foundation to have a little bit more of a thicker consistency and not be cakey, it sounds crazy, but it is so true. And when I tell you this is going to give you maximum coverage, if I should compare this to the other foundations that I just mentioned, I'd say this is going to give you the most coverage, and then the YSL. And even when you go in with your powders and your concealer and everything else, it still doesn't look dry and patchy on your face. Once again, I have dry skin. If I'm going to use this foundation, I'll go for a hydrating primer, I'll go for a hydrating concealer, I'll use powders that won't dry me out, and so far I have not had any issues with this foundation. This is one that I reach for if I'm going out for hours, if I know I'm probably going out to stand in the sun, you're going to some kind of concert or something, you're probably going to be outside, you're probably going to be in a crowd and it's going to be extremely hot. This is the one that you reach for. This is, once again, 10 out of 10. All right, you guys, so I know I said I was going to do 5 foundations, but technically it's 5 foundations and 1 skin tint. The next one that I have is from Fenty, and I feel like this is one that should be a staple in everybody's makeup collection. This is the Fenty Beauty Ease Drop Blurring Skin Tint. Shade range, 10 out of 10. Formula, 10 out of 10. Long wearing, 10 out of 10. Like, everything about this skin tint is just so good. If you prefer complexion products that are more on the lighter coverage side, this one you are really going to enjoy. I find that I personally love using this on its own, but I like to pair it with this one from Basma. I have a lot of hyperpigmentation around my mouth right here, so I just take the Basma and I go in with that kind of like as a color corrector, blend that out, and then go in with the Fenty everywhere else. I did use both of these on my face today. Absolutely amazing. If you have like good skin and you just want to enhance that good skin, this is the one. This is another one that is going to blur everything. It's going to have your face looking super smooth. Like, this is skin in a bottle, and I feel like of all the complexion products that I've tried from Fenty, this is the one that they really got it with the shades. Like, the undertone isn't too red, it's not too yellow, not too orange, just the perfect shade, and it melts into your skin like butter, and it is very long wearing for a skin tint. It gives me foundation with less coverage. It is amazing, you guys. For the KVD foundation, I use the shade Tan 076. For Fenty, I use the shade number 20, and for Basma, I use the shade number 7. I'll have everything linked down below. Usually when I link my products, I put the shade next to the name of the product, so you can find all of that in my description. But the final foundation that I have is from Nars. This is the light reflecting foundation. I have this in the shade Macao. Nars is another one of those brands that it's a little bit tricky to find your shade. Depending on the product, I always go between Macao and Marquise's. Like for the Soft Matte Complete Foundation from Nars, I prefer Marquise's. For this one, I prefer Macao. The best way to describe this foundation, it is long wearing, just like everything else that I mentioned today. But to me, this is like a foundation version to the Fenty Skin Tint. So if you love the Fenty Skin Tint, but you wanted more coverage, Nars. To me, you get everything that you get from the Fenty, just more coverage. Don't get me wrong, this is not a full coverage foundation. It is more like a decent medium, but it is still more coverage than you would get from the Fenty. So if you still want that skin like your skin but better type of finish, but you want a little bit more coverage, go for the Nars. As I said, when I use the Fenty, I have to go in with a tad bit of the Basma just to cover my hyperpigmentation. I don't really have to do that with the Nars. It covers everything that needs to be covered. Long wearing, sweat proof. This is one that I would say wear Fenty and Nars to work, or you know, when you want a light beat, that's when you reach for them. But then when you want that full coverage glam down look, then you reach for the others that I mentioned. But if you are looking for a good foundation to use this summer, I really hope this video was helpful. Let me know your favorite summer foundation in the comment section down below. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. I really hope you guys found it helpful. Let's keep the conversation going in the comment section. Once again, I will have everything linked for you guys in my description. Don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye.